Greetings and welcome to another Perspectives with Pastor Jay. Today is going to be a follow-up to last week's Perspectives where we were talking about ministry marketing. And this week we're going to talk about what the pastor really needs to know and how they need to be involved in the business of the church, the accounting of the church. But before I get started on that, I forgot one thing, and I can't believe I did because I'm a photographer. But in marketing, the pastor really needs to make sure that they have an up-to-date, high-quality headshot. I'm not talking about a Facebook photo. I'm not talking about a picture that was taken with somebody's point and shoot. You need to get a photographer to get you a real headshot. And for the sake of the graphic designers, you want to make sure that it's a headshot where the background could be easily removed. Something like what I'm in front of right now, where all they have to do is click one click and they can remove the backdrop and they can put you on a backdrop that will match the flyer that they're working on. So that was the thing I left out. I can't believe I did that. But make sure pastors, speakers, ministers get a quality headshot. All right, now on to this week's topic. The pastor, there are three basic things that a pastor needs to know about the business of the church, the accounting of the church, economics, if you will, so that they can best spend God's money. Because we know this is a nonprofit situation. In these economic times, there's not a lot of money coming in through the collection plates. So we need to know the best way to handle God's money. And the first principle is making sure that you are double checking your treasurer. Most churches have a treasurer that's separate from the pastor. And so you need to make sure that you are getting monthly reports from your treasurer. Churches like the Adventist Church, Methodist churches, where they have these type of structure in place for you to get it, it's really easy to do that. But you have to make sure that you not only get the report, but you go over it and make sure the numbers add up. Make sure that the checks that have been written are going where they're supposed to be going. That way you won't get caught up in a situation where God's money is being wasted. Or a situation like I had with a friend of mine at his church. He found out that his church had been paying someone's cell phone bill for over a year. What had happened was they had helped somebody out. They had given them a check to pay a bill, and that person had taken the routing number and checking account number and put it on the internet to do an automatic draft from the church's bank account. But if they had been checking those reports each month, that wouldn't have happened. So you want to make sure that you're checking reports, making sure the numbers add up so that God's money is not wasted. The second principle is making sure that you're getting the most for God's money. A lot of times when you're trying to get something done, you really want to get it done quickly. But oftentimes when we do things quickly, they're not done correctly. So it's important that you get 2 or 3 estimates to get work done on your church, or if you're looking around for something to purchase for the church, that you go online and do a cost comparison so that you're not just getting the least expensive item, but you're getting the best value for the dollar. And a part of that is making sure that what you're purchasing is worth purchasing. Sometimes it's better to rent something than to purchase it. And then there's other times when it makes more sense to go ahead and purchase that tractor or something that you're going to use on a regular basis rather than paying someone to do it or renting it every time to do it. So you really have to be diligent in making sure that you're spending God's money properly. The third principle is making sure that we're spending within the faith community. A lot of times there are professionals within our churches that offer services that our churches can use. And it only makes sense to patronize those businesses because, one, if they're faithful members, when you spend money with those businesses, then that money's going to come back in the form of tithe and offering. So what you're doing is not only helping that small business, helping that member, but you're really saving the church money because part of that money is going to come back. So the 3 principles are making sure you're double checking the treasurer to make sure God's money is not being wasted, do a cost comparison so that you're getting the best value for the money, and spending within the faith community. That way you're helping everyone involved. You're building up the kingdom of God, and you're not helping those who are going against God's principles. This has been Perspectives with Pastor Jay. Again, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for your support and those that keep watching. Please go to the website if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook so that you can see the other items we have on there. There's information about booking. There's also information and links to other ministry partners. And if there's any way we can be of service, we are glad to do so. Also, I'd like to get your feedback on the video blogs. And if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about, I'll be glad to do that. Lastly, I am working on getting the bio video together. I started the planning process, but you know, life as a pastor is busy. So I'm getting on it. I have not forgotten it. I am working on it. But again, we appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in to Perspectives with Pastor Jay.